friends. I'm Ariel Tyson.
And I'm Michael, and this guy is our newest little baby. You thought I was going to say his name, didn't you? You did. I know you did. Hey, thanks for checking out this video. In this video, we're doing a Q&A together, some questions from Ariel's awesome Instagram followers. And so thanks so much for checking it out. If you would, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and don't forget to click that bell so that you get notified every time that we put up a video. We're getting a little bit better. There's definitely some growing pains with this for sure. But again, thanks so much for checking this out. We really hope you enjoy it. Have a great day. Hey guys, we're coming to you tonight because Ariel's got a bunch of questions from her Instagram peeps for both of us. So we're going to come to you and answer a few of those questions tonight.
Yeah. All right. First of all, how long have you been together?
Go for it.
Do you know? Do you actually know? So we met in 2005. So we started dating then, and it's 15 years. We have been married for going on 13. Yes.
12 and a half years.
Yeah, 12 and a half. All right. Yeah.
I don't want to chase too many rabbit trails.
No, let's.
But we should have gotten married a year sooner.
Mm-hmm.
The day we got engaged was the day we should have gotten married.
Mm-hmm.
Next question.
Okay. Did you expect to have this many kids, or did you think you would have more? I'll let you start that one.
I don't know. We just knew that we definitely wanted to have several kids. Like, I'd never really had a number put on it or anything like that. We never like said a number, like, oh yeah, 7 kids or 4 kids, or. But I'm the oldest of 5. She's the oldest of 4, and we just thought it would maybe be somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think subconsciously, without realizing, I kind of thought 4 or 5, and here we are at 6.
Yeah.
Okay. If you had to, what's one thing you'd change about each other? You mean start that one?
Yeah.
His procrastination. I am not a procrastinator. I am a work ahead person. He is a work really well under pressure.
Yeah. When we first got married, we both were in school and we both were working full time. I had quit playing football in college and started working. She would go to work, come home from work, and do all of her schoolwork.
And work on my lunch break at work.
And like, she's always been super workaholic like that. Well, I was working in landscaping at the time, so I was at work at 5 or 6 in the morning and would get home at 6 or 7 at night. And I was blasted. I had no energy at all to do schoolwork. So I would just hang out, and then on the weekends, I would have all my schoolwork to do. It was all due Sunday night at midnight. So I'd have to do all my homework, and she would be like, I just want to hang out. I'm like, I got to do my homework. Well, I did all mine during the week. So that makes sense.
Okay, now you get to say for me.
One thing I could change.
Mm-hmm.
I would change your confidence level.
Okay. Maybe you should explain that.
I would want you to be more confident in yourself.
That's why I thought you should probably explain it. I figured that's what you meant.
Yeah. Because sometimes you're just pretty unsure about a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, this question came up a lot. Are you planning more kids? Or do you want more kids? Those are the 2 questions. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this one, I think these kind of go together. Do any of your kids share a room, and do you see yourselves having a bigger house? So, if you're not aware, we have a 3-bedroom house, and 4 boys share a room right now, and then the 2-year-old is in his own room. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do when our little guy, the littlest one, moves to a room. But what do you think about the bigger house?
Yeah, we plan on getting a bigger house somehow, someday. But I think sometimes we put needs where wants are, or we put wants where needs are. We don't need a bigger house today. Now we're thinking towards the future, and there is going to be a day when we're going to need at least, maybe not necessarily more square footage. Our house is about 1,850 square feet, but a better layout for our family. So whether that's like a custom home that I would design or something like that, but yeah, a bigger home eventually, but there's no need to stress about that right now.
Yeah.
You know, just live today to its fullest.
Okay, this one is dating or courting. What did you guys do? What will you teach your boys? We dated. We did not court. Good question. What will you teach your boys? I'm gonna let you. We dated, but we were in college. We weren't like dating in high school or anything. So
I don't really know what courting is. I mean, I know what it is, kind of, but like.
I think it's where you're never alone.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
maybe
I'm
that
the
is what it
same way.
is. Like, I don't know exactly what that means. Does that? I think I know what it means to me, but I don't necessarily know like the actual definition of what courting is. And what we will teach our boys though is honor, respect, and God's best for their life, and that's the most important thing.
All right, so one question is basically marriage advice while you were in the thick of raising kids. A few people said like keeping the intimacy alive and just being able to communicate and have a good marriage while raising little kids that are super dependent. Okay, so when it comes to, I guess first of all you need to set that time aside, and for us that means that our kids have set times that they need to be having quiet time, or they need to be sleeping at night, they need to not be coming out of their room. Because for us, like, yeah, we can talk while they, play around us, but to really get a good conversation in that is between us that doesn't involve kids interrupting is going to have to be in the evenings for us usually. Or, we'll go talk in the room and tell them what they need to do to behave and not, destroy the house.
I guess if we would do that, it would be before we even came out of the room in the morning.
Yeah. So I think just making sure that both of you are on the same page as far as the kids, where they should be, what they should be doing at different times, and making sure you have that open line of communication.
Yeah, I think one word to summarize that would be boundaries.
Yeah.
So.
That was what I almost said at the beginning.
Thanks for not saying it so I can sound smart, baby doll.
Yeah.
But yeah, good boundaries, because if your kids don't have any boundaries, and you're the one responsible for that. Parent, you're the one responsible for that. If you don't set boundaries for your kids, then how are you ever going to feel comfortable to be intimate, to lock your bedroom door and to do that? We lock our bedroom door.
Yeah, and that's where I think that you need to come together and actually come up with a plan for that, because if it's not happening and if you're overwhelmed with not having that time, it's because there isn't that set that you two both are telling your kids, both of you, what needs to be done, I guess.
Yeah. And then as far as communication goes, some of y'all think the more words you say, the better you communicate.
Hey.
That's not true.
Meaning me.
No.
I do. Our text conversations are like, yep.
Yeah, that's not what I mean, though. What I mean is this. We don't talk about every little thing.
That's true.
communication is not talking. Communication is understanding. And if you feel like you're not communicating well because you're not getting enough words in, that could be true, but maybe you need to reevaluate that. And the quality of the conversations is more important than the quantity of words you're saying. So that would be a little tip, is I can be speaking in a language that you don't know, and I'm communicating, or I'm trying to communicate, but you're not understanding because you don't understand my language. And that was something that was major for our relationship, because we talked all the time when we were engaged, first year of marriage, but and before we were engaged, like, we thought we were set up, we were good to go, and we just talked a lot. We didn't really communicate really well. We thought we did. We really did.
We did. Yeah. I would say that. But yeah, intimacy, going off of that, it has to be valuable and important to both of you. And I feel like in my conversations with a lot of moms, they're like, just can't, too tired. And I think it has to be like important to you as a mom too, and then, to your husband, and both of you with that.
So explain a little bit about that, babe. Like, what if somebody's like, well, it's not important to me, so therefore, too bad.
Yeah. Well, when you're married, you become one, so it really doesn't matter. Like, it is important, period. It doesn't really matter if you feel it's important to you or not. It is important for your marriage.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of digging at, is what you mean by important.
Right.
Understanding that is one essential aspect of a healthy marriage. And having a healthy marriage is important. And pursuing a healthy marriage, not necessarily being like, oh, I'm ready to go. Right?
Yep. Yeah, because you're not always going to be ready. Like, I am a mom and I'm exhausted, but it is important for your marriage no matter what.
Yeah.
I liked this one. Advice for wedding planning. And do you want to talk about that? Because I know my thoughts on that.
I'll go first because I think I can be short on this one.
Okay.
I loved my involvement in our wedding planning, which was, I don't remember having any input. And I did not care. I had no preferences. I mean, it's not that I didn't have any preferences. It's that there was no need for me to express my preferences, because there's no need to. Now, if she had asked me, sure, I would have been like, well, yeah, I prefer that over this, or I like that. But guys, for the most part, just stay out of it. Just let them plan it. Just like enjoy. You're not there for the decorations. You're not there for the party. You're there to get married. Let them do their thing.
Yeah. Okay, so my advice is to remember that the marriage is more important than the wedding. To always keep that in mind. As you're planning this wedding, it's just one day. The marriage, to make sure that you two are going into a marriage with the right mindset is most important, so that you're on the same page with the important things, the values that you both have, things that you're passionate about. That's the most important thing. And I feel like so many people get caught up in it being all about the wedding day and the decorations and all those things, but it's one day. So for me, I would say focus on the marriage.
So, real quick, let's talk about stress in wedding planning.
Yeah.
Going off of what Ariel just said, you got to remember that that's the point. The marriage is the point, not the wedding. So that's why I said what I said about just stay out of it, because there's already going to be so much pressure and stress from family members, from everywhere, from childhood dreams to like, well, this is what I wanted, but our budget isn't that, and now I'm crushed, to my dress didn't get him, to COVID shut down my wedding.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something that's going to bring
and
stress.
you are not the only one with stress in a wedding. Like, it pretty much everybody. So I feel like that's something important, because you can be like, why is my wedding going to crap? But it's everybody. Everybody has stress.
Yeah, so I guess our final advice on wedding planning would be chill out. Chillax. You two.
Chillax.
Just be there, because, man, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. How your wedding goes does not determine how your marriage goes. So, have fun. Have fun. We were like almost the last people to leave our reception.
We were
just having fun. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Don't let the negative things steal the joy from you. Don't let the stress or the pressure steal the joy from you on that day or through that process. Enjoy what you enjoy, and what bothers you, let it go.
All right.
Next question.
All right. So I kind of answered this in my stories on Instagram, but where did you meet? So I'm going to let you tell this story, since I've answered it before.
We met at college. We went to Liberty University. We met back then it was called East Campus. It was the first year East Campus pool was open, and I was a lifeguard, and I was also a prayer leader. I hadn't started playing football yet, and so I was there early. It was freshman orientation week. Ariel was a transfer student, so she was there to what's that word, matriculate in. And I noticed this group of girls come to the pool party all dolled up. They're not there to swim. They're not there to swim at all. But it was, hey, I'm in college. I'm just trying to talk to every attractive girl that I possibly can. And so on my next break, I go up to this group of girls to just kind of get to know one of them. And when I get up there, I realized that Ariel was there. She was standing behind these girls, and they were a lot taller than her. One of those girls ended up playing on the basketball team. But I got a little nervous, because I'm always a little bit confident. But I think if I had seen her, I wouldn't have gone up and talked to him. And so on my next break, lifeguarding, she came and talked to me, and I just couldn't believe it. I was like, this girl is talking to me? This is ridiculous. I was like, I would say I'm hardly ever nervous. And I was pretty nervous. And this coworker of mine came, and Ariel and I are face to face, and we're talking, and I'm on my break, and this coworker of mine comes and stands like right here. It's like, what you talking about? And begins to creep his way in between me and her. I remember at one point being like, what's going on here? So that was an interesting
and
first meeting.
Yeah, and did we exchange phone numbers?
No. So old school. I was like, you on Facebook? She was like, yeah. I'll look you up. So I looked her up on Facebook.
That was the first year that Facebook was out.
First year of Facebook. It was like the newest thing. Oh, man, we're so old.
We are. I know.
Facebook's the old thing now. Anyway, I asked her out on the first date that weekend. She said no, because she had burnt so bad in the tanning bed.
I did. Okay.
So we ended up going out the first time that week, but not on the day that I asked her
I've not gone to the tanning bed probably since around then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yes. We went out. We watched fireworks. Yep.
So you want to talk about our first date?
No, that's not what they asked.
Well, you started in on the fireworks.
Should we leave them hanging?
You said fireworks, so...
Okay. Well, our first date was at, so Liberty University has a block party the night before school starts every year. And it was grits, right? It was the grits. So they always have a
really awesome concert.
Yes, they do.
But
and
the block party is like bounce houses, all kinds of carnival games.
The BMX bikers.
Yeah, like all kinds of awesome, cool
like a big,
food
it's like
festival.
a big fair.
Yeah.
So we went to that. That was our first date. He won a dance-off contest.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I've been a dancer for 15 years. He won the dance-off, and then we watched fireworks together. I mean, I don't remember much else about the date.
That's pretty much. I just did my best to show off.
Uh-huh.
And then we watched some fireworks. And then you went home to your dorm with your friends.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't even think I took you.
I don't even know. That was it.
We just hung out. Yep.
Pretty simple. Okay, so one question I've gotten quite a bit, so I think we should answer, is people that are starting homeschooling this year for the first time are dealing with a lot of negativity and wanting to know how to handle that as a couple.
Negativity in what way?
They're dealing with negativity from people giving them a hard time for homeschooling.
Okay.
So, and with that, I've also been asked of what curriculum I use. So I'm going to start with like our decision to homeschool. I was homeschooled growing up, and he was homeschooled growing up. I was homeschooled almost the whole way through. He was a large part of it. But that was not the reason why we chose to homeschool. I mean, I guess it was always in the back of my mind that I probably would homeschool one day, but I still think I guess that's what I'm getting at. As a couple, you have to decide together and be together as you face the negativity, that you have made this decision together, and that is the best decision for your family. And I think that's the most important thing to say to the negativity is this is the best for our family. This is the best decision for our family. And that's what I always say. It's not for everyone. It's not for every family. It's just what is best for us. And as far as the curriculum goes, and then I'll let you kind of talk about as a couple kind of how we handle the homeschooling thing. But for the curriculum, I have been through tried a lot of different curriculum and tried some great curriculum that I would recommend to people that just didn't work for us. And for me, I do work from home, and I obviously have 6 kids and in 3 different grades right now. So I am using the BJU Press online homeschool, and we can put the link for that on the YouTube description. But I'm using that because it's their online program. They have teachers that they love, and then I can help them with the important things. So we work on some extra reading or anything that they're each individually struggling with. So that has worked best for us because then they can get their school done separately. So, anything else you have to add?
It's going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it. So we always take homeschooling one semester at a time.
Yeah.
And there's regularly times where we have to re-weigh the situation and reevaluate because there's a lot of challenges with it. But you can do it. You can do it. And it's worth it. And if you put the effort and the energy in, not just to the homeschooling, but to like the whole aspect of going to a co-op once a week so that your kids can take some other classes with some other teachers and hang out with some friends once a week and be in sports or dance or whatever to and it's not for like aren't you worried about your kids being antisocial? Listen, that's the dumbest thing anyone could ever say about homeschooling, because those of us that went to public school for any period of time, we know there's weirdos in public school too, right? There's kids that went to public school their whole life and they don't know how to talk to somebody. Weird people are weird. It doesn't matter if they're homeschooled or not. Normal people that are homeschooled, you just don't know they're homeschooled because they're normal. They interact with people. So don't let all of those stereotypes deter you. Be encouraged. Take it one day at a time, just one day at a time.
Yeah.
And slow down. That's the beauty of homeschooling, is you can take a minute, take an extra day with a kid who's struggling with math or something, and really just give them a break. If their brain's tired, let them go run outside and play for 10 minutes and then come back and focus on
That's
it.
what our 7-year-old has to do.
I think we're running out of light pretty bad, so let's get to the last question.
Okay. I did want to kind of finish that. As a couple, I was going to say, for the homeschooling thing, I feel like I do, like, obviously most of the schooling. He does the, hey, it's fine, just chill out about it. So I think that's important. And then if you're facing negativity from other homeschoolers, which I've heard, for having homeschooled during COVID, it's not the same. It's not the same. Like he said, we go and do stuff. During COVID, we were stuck at home so much that it is harder for all of us homeschoolers too. So what I'm saying is you can do it and just learn your kids. Okay, last question. When are you going to get a haircut?
When I want to. So, little background on that. I grew up in an awesome family, but I was never allowed to have long hair. As in, it's way past long now. It just wasn't acceptable. And the reason wasn't because my parents thought having a long hair was a sin or anything like that. They just taught me to be clean cut, to be presentable, to care about the way you look, and to dress nice and stuff like that. And I learned a lot, and I really appreciate that. And I'm still typically one of the more dressed up people in the room in places that I go. Then I went to college at a place that had a hair code, which I had no problem with, really. I mean, it was annoying a little bit at times, but like everybody had the same hair code, not that big of a deal. And then, even in college, I had jobs in churches, and I just didn't feel comfortable growing my hair out because I wanted to look presentable. And also just being a pastor, but especially a young pastor, you know, the position of pastor, no matter who it is, deserves respect. But it's easier to respect somebody that looks respectable. And so, not to say you can't have long hair and be respectable, but the awkward phase is legit, okay? So I decided right before quarantine, you know what? I'm going to grow my hair out. First time ever in my life. I just want to do it. I just want to have long hair. I don't know how long I'm going. I'll just know when I get there, and then I'm going to cut my hair. So that's what the whole hair thing is about. I've never had long hair. I've always wanted long hair. I have had cornrows several times, and I love cornrows, but I'm just growing it out right now.
Okay, I'm going to do one more.
Okay.
So, which kid do you think looks the most like you? And then they asked for me too. I can say mine while you're thinking, because mine's easy. So, our fourth looks the most like me. And the reason I know that is because of my baby pictures and his baby pictures. And, like, you can't tell who's who, except for me wearing pink.
Probably our oldest.
Yeah, probably. I kind of feel like it's a mix between him and the second.
Yeah. I don't know. Hey guys, thanks for watching this Q&A. Us just sitting down after we put the kids to bed outside. I know it's kind of gotten dark on us. But I just want to ask you to subscribe, especially if you've made it this whole time. Give us a thumbs up. And if you would, share the video. If you can share it with somebody you think might be helped by it at all. Have an awesome day.